everyone, and welcome to Design in the Dark, the show that I accidentally got dressed up for. Today we have a very special guest with us. Hello, floating guest here. Would you like to introduce yourself to our friends?
Yeah, hi guys. It's Jen. I'm here. I'm hanging out.
Yes. So Jenn will be our guest today, and if you are new, Jenn is our artist today. I will serve as the mediator and art director at sometimes. And this show is all about you. You watching at home, you in the chat, you wherever you are going to be our client today. We'll be going through a creative brief with words that are missing, and you'll be able to fill in those words like a Mad Lib. And Jenn here, you'll get to watch her absolutely lose her mind trying to fulfill your every need and desire for a brand. Today we are doing a brand. We've never done it before on this show, so we're going to see how it goes. Jenn, can you tell everyone a little bit about you, what you do, and I'm going to put up your Instagram so people can check you out.
Yeah, that's great. So I'm Jen. I am a freelancer designer. I mostly work on brands. I kind of do some illustration every now and then. Up until last month, I was living in Tokyo, and I moved back to Texas, my home state, during a pandemic. Not easy, but whatever. And I guess, yeah, I've done a little bit of everything for like as far as like agency work, in-house work. I've done UX, UI, and just recently, I guess 2018 was like, I'm gonna go freelance, and
Yes.
maybe it'll work out. I don't know. We're here. We're still doing it, so it's still working out, guys.
Yes, if you ever decide to go freelance, anyone in chat, like there's never a decision that you're like, I've done it. It's constantly like, am I still doing this? Just
Pretty
always.
much.
And so Jenn and I met at an event called Canceled Con that we did a little while ago. So you can see some stuff on her Instagram from that. But there also is a lot of different languages represented on her Instagram, different cultures, all kinds of stuff. Can you talk a little bit about what it's like to be like this multicultural designer, multiple languages? Like, how has that kind of given you a different perspective?
Yeah, I think I lived in Japan for a little over 2 years. My Japanese is not great, guys. And then prior to that, I lived in China. So it kind of gives you a new perspective on not only how people perceive design, but also how you kind of see things. So like it's mostly character design or character typography and Asia, right? And so it's really interesting to see how they interpret English and how we interpret their languages and vice versa. So definitely a lot of different perspectives
Yep.
opened up, and it's definitely, I like to take influence from a lot of different things. So I think if we don't do anything that has like an Asian influence, I still might look at stuff because there's just so much cool stuff. Like
Yep.
guys.
Yeah, we actually talked about this on one of the last shows. Is basically one of the ways that I like to get inspired is trying to find like videos of people that don't speak English describing things in English, because they'll like phrase it in such a different way that they're trying to piece together like, oh, how do I describe this thing? And then I'll be like, oh my gosh, that's the most interesting, like creative way to like say what that is, instead of just being like, oh yeah, it's this thing. And so I love finding stuff like that I'm like, I would have never thought to describe it that way. And then it inspires me to something.
Um, Yeah, I 100% agree.
Yes. All right, so let's go ahead and hop right in, chat. This is where you need to jump in. First of all, let me know where you're watching from. Let's get this chat started. Get you guys loosen up those fingers. Do some of these things that people do.
Okay.
You're going to be typing a whole lot during this stream, because it really is all reliant on you. You're our client, and you get to say what goes. So let's hop over into our brief for the day. Jenn does know the brief today, but we don't know the fill-in. So you're going to need to fill in these words for us, chat. And I'm going to read through the whole thing, and then I'll go back and ask piece by piece. So brand name is an attribute 1, attribute 2, and attribute 3 brand that has been in business since the year blank. We are very inspired by plural nouns and the style that some company has. We are looking to capture a target demographic of a specific age group. The colors should be adjective and adjective, and our tagline would love to see incorporated into the brand. Please include a product mockup in the presentation. Thanks. All right, let's go ahead and hop in here with our first thing. Let's get the brand name. That way, what is the brand name, chat? Let us know what this brand is that we will be creating today. You can even maybe say what industry, or we can just stick with the name. Jenn is very open to literally anything. So throw it to us. I will pick our favorite and we'll start working on that. And then as we work, we'll talk about process, and then we will start filling in some more of those gaps. So Jenn, I'm going to pop over to your screen. Can you tell us a little bit about your process and how we're going to be working today?
So today we'll probably just gather all the words, the keywords, anything that kind of comes up with the brand. And then we'll do a little bit of research. It might look like Pinterest. It might look like Behance. I don't know. It might look like random Google images, memes. It could be anything, guys. Like I pretty much go anywhere and everywhere that I need to find like that little piece of puzzle to fit into the brand. Then after that, we'll probably do some sketch concepting. We'll write out more words. It's a lot of words when it comes to branding.
Yes.
And we'll try to see what fits, what doesn't fit, and we'll I don't know, we'll make magic. I call it magic because sometimes I'm just like, this wasn't working, and then literally 2 seconds later it is working.
Absolutely.
And I don't know why, it just does. And then from there, so we'll do like some rough sketching, and then I'll hop straight into Illustrator. And maybe depending on what we do, go into Photoshop and go back and forth, but it'll be
all
mostly
over the place.
Illustrator.
Yeah. It's going to be a journey. All right. So we have some picks. So our brand name is going to be Dark Sky. Dark Sky is going to be the brand name. They are actually in the vitamin industry. So a little bit of an unconventional pairing there. Dark Sky, but it is for vitamins. And chat, I need some attributes. So let me know some brand attributes. Are they friendly? Are they edgy? Are they conservative? What are some attributes and adjectives that we can have? And Jenn, any ideas come up immediately? What are your associations with the name Dark Sky being a vitamin company?
An emo vitamin company for for like early era 2004 to 2005.
Yes.
I think of the vitamins I would use in high school. So
yes. So it's basically like Good Charlotte meets like the Flintstones. That's okay, cool. So Josh says that it is like in your face. So maybe like punchy would be a brand attribute. Love that. And if you see me looking all over the screen, I'm filling this in as we go so that we'll be able to see where we're going. So Dark Sky Vitamins is a... I like that. So it is in your face. That's from our friend Josh. In your face. I love goth. We're gonna go full in goth.
Yes.
Is in your face, goth, and one more word, chat. Let's get one more attribute in there to see if we can punch one into our brief. And then after that, natural. I actually like that. I like the mix of like the contrast between like bold and punchy, and then goth, and then like natural. It's like a weird combination that I think could get really interesting. Cool. So Dark Sky Vitamins is an in-your-face, goth, and natural brand that has been in business since what year? What year do we want to say, chat? And Jenn, is that enough information for you to get started on some things?
Yeah, I'm already taking some notes. I think also too, who are we targeting? It's going to really be interesting.
Okay, yes. People are already losing. Yes, this is the show. This show is totally insane and off the rails. I love this. I actually really love this. So someone is saying that it's from 1000 AD. I love the idea of taking this back into that it is like not just like it's like vintage goth or like ancient goth.
Yeah,
is so interesting. I love that. So we're gonna do 1000 AD. Good work, chat. You are coming up with some crazy things. That's what this show is all about. It's about getting crazy, having no rules. Literally no rules.
Does that mean that we're also targeting people from 1000 AD, chat? Like,
Yes,
That's my
yes,
question.
yes.
Okay.
Okay, so do we want to be targeting? This is going to get crazy, chat. I think I'm going to make a call on this one. I think our target demographic is vampires. Like I think, right,
Yes.
that it would be vitamins for vampires that have been around because they just like have lived forever since 1000 AD. So target demographic is just going to be vampires. I'm making the call on that one, chat. I'm so sorry. Let's see, vampires over 1000 years old. Because we don't want like young vampires because they're like, my body's going to live forever. But like if you're over 1000,
Yeah.
you're like, I should probably take some vitamins. All right,
Oh
this is
my
going to be so
goodness.
cool. I agree, Ariana. This is going to be the absolute coolest. All right, so at that point, we're going to hit a stop here for you, chat, and we are going to have Jenn hop in and start going and explain her process. Let me read the brief a little bit back to you. Dark Sky Vitamins is an in-your-face, goth, and natural brand that has been in business since 1000 AD. We're very inspired by blank and blank and a style that has these companies. We can kind of incorporate that as we go. We're looking to capture a target demographic of vampires of 1000 years or older. So that I love this so much.
Oh
All
my
right,
God.
so let's go ahead and get started. Jenn, where are we starting? What's your process going to be like jumping into this crazy brief?
So let's get into it. So I've already started taking notes. So this is actually how I start with certain things. Is like I'll listen to clients and I'll hear about their needs and their wants and their desires, and I'll just this is what it looks like, guys. It's just a bunch of messy notes. And so from there, I'm like, you know, writing down, is it, I don't know, maybe apothic is really popular too. And we have gothy and moody. So also in your face, impactful is kind of another keyword that I kind of went with. And so I went vampires dead and what is dead. And then I'm thinking Twilight, but well, we'll see. Maybe Twilight. But it's just literally me taking notes.
Yep. And so
And
in the process and really in like how we think and communicate visually, these are things that are called associated cognitive barriers, right? They're things that you think of right away, and you can either choose to lean into those or completely throw them out the window. And so doing a word cloud like this is like, what am I thinking about when I hear these things? That's probably what the public's going to think as well. And then you choose either to lean into that or to
yeah.
completely break it.
Yes. And so it's super, super messy. And so I'm thinking moon, moonlight as well.
Yes. Ooh,
And
that's a good idea.
yeah, I drew it over here and I was like, well, maybe it's got some bats or some stuff. And I'm thinking like, I already have some cool places that I want to look for research. So we can jump into that too.
Cool. And great idea, Kevin. We will definitely incorporate that into the brand at some point, is making sure that it's garlic free. If it's all natural, but garlic free.
Yes. Give me 2 seconds, guys. I have to find my
No problem. And while you do
Google
that, I'm
Chrome.
going to pop over here and talk about something really exciting that's happening this week. There are new daily creative challenges happening, everyone. If you want to learn Illustrator, you can jump in. Our friend Paul Tranny is doing them this week. He's going through art history, which is going to be super fun and teaching you tips and tricks about art fundamentals as well as the history of art. With each of the challenges, you can come right here to behance.net/challenge/illustrator and click this button right here that says take the challenge, and it will notify you every day that there is a new challenge that is up and ready to go. And yes, Bram Stoker is rolling in his grave. He wouldn't be if he had our vitamins. He would still be living and kicking. Yes. All right. Are you ready to hop back over to your screen?
Yeah, it's gonna be yeah, we're ready to go.
Let's do it.
One of the first places I was gonna start just to see is Flickr in the comments area, because I'm a very visual person and sometimes like you know, I like to look for different things that might be, you know, kind of cool.
Vampire.
And
Yes.
yeah. And so I'll kind of just go through here and see what works, what doesn't work. And so like, yeah, this is kind of what I was thinking when I was thinking apothic. And so
yeah, I like definitely was getting like mid culty vibes, like not full cult, but like a little culty.
Yeah. And so it might be too new school, but that's okay. Like maybe we're ahead of the like the
Yeah,
edge
and
in the
especially if
game,
it's like goth and not like it's like, oh, it's like vintage vampire. It's like, oh, it's like a goth vampire.
I actually really think this is kind of cool, so I'm gonna save this. I don't know where I'm gonna save it. Downloads, that's fine.
Yeah, wherever it goes.
Where it goes where it goes. But yeah, no. Skulls, yes. So this is kind of the way that I do it because I have all these words and these things, and so I kind of see what's out there in the world, and this illustration style is kind of cool too. So I might steal that a little bit and
Yep.
save
I
as.
love the idea of like grabbing inspiration and then kind of bits and pieces of like, cool, it's taking bits and pieces of these things and then becoming something completely new, right? That everything's already been done. It's all happened in history. And it's like how we put it together, how we interpret it, and how we communicate it that gets really interesting. And so I think that that's super fun to hit a zone where it's like, oh, this is like something that is now becoming a new thing.
Yeah, and I honestly, I don't think there's a right or wrong way to go about design anymore because there's so many different ways that you can do it.
Yep.
And so I'm a very messy designer, and some people are like, oh no, design's very clean and you have to be like correct all the time. And there are people like that. And if you are like that, kudos to you because I'm not. And I like appreciate your aesthetic as well and your style and your process.
Yes.
Oh man.
Ooh,
And
I like the kind of like simple symbology, kind of like simple line kind of stuff like that it feels like it's almost like tarot cardy.
Yeah, I actually have some pretty cool inspiration for that somewhere because I had a client project that went through a bunch of that.
Let's go there.
Yeah. Well, sometimes stuff doesn't work out for them and they work out elsewhere. And,
that's 100% something that I tell designers all the time is never delete anything. Like literally never delete anything.
No, don't.
Because usually if it's a good idea, it'll come back and it'll stick around and be worth it.
Yeah, and that's honestly how it always goes. I don't know. Oh, okay, that's cool. Pinterest is really great if you just want just random things, but also food.
Yes.
I love. It's like
delicious foods.
As I'm working, it's like, oh, that might be cool to make one day. I don't know.
In chat, we're gonna have you go ahead and let me know what the tagline for this company is. Let me know the tagline, and while Jenn is working on some of the branding, I'm going to be working on some badges for the tagline, and then you can see our screen side by side and see how we interpret that kind of stuff. So put in chat, what is the tagline for our company, our vitamins for vampires company? What's the tagline?
Yes, and I'm going to probably move out of this pretty soon and go back to sketching because of time.
Yep.
Because time.
Yeah, so we have about 30-ish minutes. So yeah, this show is always an absolute design sprint. We don't need no stinking batches. No, I don't know if that fits as a tagline. I think we do need badges. Invite us into your medicine cabinet. Okay, that's going somewhere. So
what about something
good.
With coffins?
Yeah,
what about something with coffins?
Yeah,
yes. That would be cool too. Let's see. Undo. Okay. So now I'm gonna probably, like, you guys can't see it on my screen, but I'm going to look now at my research and kind of see the things that were working that I really liked, and start pulling that stuff in.
Starting to basically shoot wide and then kind of edit down inspiration and everything.
Yes, so we got that and dark sky. So I'm a really type-driven type of designer too. So I like to do a lot of like monogram style stuff. So that's vitamins.
Cool.
Vitamins.
So it looks like I think the tagline that we're gonna go with is very simple. Suggested by, where was it? Someone up there. Bloody Good.
Oh yeah.
By Kevin Lee. I think that's great because it's like it's good for you, but then it has like the vampire bite, but then it has the double entendre of like, oh, this is bloody good. I can't do accents very well, but that was my accent. So we'll type that in as our tagline.
Moonlight.
And
so one.
Go
One
ahead.
of the greatest things that I read it online, like we all do if we read things online. Um, One of the greatest things to do whenever you have like a product brand, and this is from the Idea Girl, you can find her. Her name's Brittany Wilson, I want to say. She's really great. She does a lot of like beauty products and stuff. And she says, don't start with the logo, start with the actual product and then work your brand into the product.
Yep.
So I'm also starting now thinking of like how that label looks, even though it's still too soon, but that's the product.
Yep.
That's the brand. So
I always think about that too, that I usually start out with the type that I'm like, okay, like how is this going to sound through its type? And then all the rest comes naturally.
yes. So I'm starting to think about that too, of how this label will work. And I'm thinking like, I want it to be super emo-y, but maybe we can do that with the like the actual coloring and tone and stuff. So
And so that's the thing too, is if you have attributes from a client, you don't have to hit that with the logo on every single thing. You can support with some of those emotions with the actual brand's attributes. And yes, so Kevin Lee says, I love how Jennifer is writing down all of our ideas and does quick sketches, putting all the ideas quickly before you forget anything.
yeah, I'm super, super messy. Nothing looks great. And I will probably take like this, and that's how I do it. I'm like, I'll put that in the computer. And this will probably be very type driven. I'm thinking to get a moody type of feel to it. So
Yes, I agree. I think that a lot of brands ends up being like type driven because it's the voice of like how this brand sounds, how it communicates, how it feels.
yeah.
All of those things kind of come together.
You know what we didn't do though, and we're gonna go back very quickly, is we didn't look at like what's actually on a vitamin bottle.
Oh yeah.
Because that will give us some, well, I don't know, vitamin bottle.
And
I can
I'm
Google
going to
it
put the
too.
screens two up so everyone, you can see Jen's screen above her. You can see my screen above me. I'm going to start working on some type for Bloody Good. And so I'm actually going to build all custom type, he says, in 20 minutes. So we're
Yeah,
going to
right.
give it a shot and see if we can make it through making some custom type. I have a really fun idea with the O's. I want to do fangs as the counters of the O's. And I think that could be really fun. So I'm going to play around with that and see if we can pull it off in the time allotted.
All right. Yes. Let's see, making sure that my screen is being shared still. There we go, guys. And let's go. Okay.
And what's great about this kind of process and working side by side is that in theory, Jenn can be working on one thing and then I can be working on something else. And especially with custom type, I can augment this so that it ends up being closer to what she's working on. So it can kind of become the brand when we need it to. We probably don't need it to right away, but it will become the brand eventually when we decide, oh, this needs to be a part of it, and we have a little bit more direction. And yes, Dark Shadows was vampires, the good old soap opera of Dark Shadows.
Oh yeah. Let's see.
They remade that with Johnny Depp, I think. Like not too long ago. I remember seeing it, and it had like just like it was. I think Tim Burton did it.
I am like a solid Tim Burton, like just Mars Attacks fan, and all other movies. I'm kind of like, oh no, it's okay.
Yes, I agree. Mars Attacks is top tier.
Yes. And I'm trying to think of his other movies. I'm not really great at remembering movies or things or names and stuff. So sorry, chat. You guys will probably ridicule me if you're Tim Burton fans.
Let's throw in some Tim Burton movies, chat. What's your favorite Tim Burton movie in chat? Let us know.
Let's see.
This is what we do here. And I, chat, am creating
cool.
like a little drip to come off of this little tooth here.
So I almost want to do, yeah, that could work. So now I'm thinking, because I need to add, yes. And I'll get rid of that. So I was thinking like how I can add the vitamin aspect of it, because maybe that needs it. And then more blood. So sorry guys, this is really crappy, but it's basically like a vitamin. That could be kind of cool.
Oh yeah, it could,
We're
like a little floaty, drippy,
Yeah,
almost
or
almost.
like, oh, you know what? Yeah,
This is the
okay.
best part about the creative process is you're like, wait a minute, wait.
Yeah, no, okay. We're going in the computer, guys. So I have one. We're gonna go with one because we're short on time.
Cool.
So we did it. Good job. Good job, brains.
Yes, I know, right? You're like, all right, and that's what I love about this show too is you have to think and not doubt yourself at all. It's like you just gotta go.
Yes. I feel like that's most things in life. Go with what your brain is like. It's the gut and the brain. If they're both like, yeah, that'll work, go with it.
Yep.
So I
Some
don't
great
know.
answers. Night Before Christmas, yes, top tier. Edward Scissorhands, love Edward Scissorhands. Pee-wee's Big Adventure, I forgot about that.
He did that?
He
Oh,
did. I know he
oh,
had like a fun weird phase. Corpse Bride, that was great. Alice in Wonderland, I agree, not the best. Um,
no.
Sweeney
I was the
Todd,
issue.
I'm conflicted about Sweeney Todd.
I am too.
Yes, I
It
love the
wasn't bad.
musical. I was kind of like meh once it actually came down to
Yeah.
it.
Yes. Oh, I see what's going on. Okay, so I'm just gonna email that quick thing to myself.
And chat over here, I'm actually going to be trying to make is the answer. Trying to make like a little blood that comes off of a fang in the middle. So we're just gonna kind of play around with that until it hits a point where I'm like, yeah, this looks great.
Yes. Are you're doing like custom handmade type?
Yes,
Look at you.
I'm trying. I know we have about 20 minutes, and so I'm like, yeah, 20 minutes feels possible. It feels
Yes.
aspirational. That's the word that I'm going to use here. 20 minutes feels aspirational.
Well, good. I believe in you.
I,
Let's
I
see.
think I believe in me. Oh, Beetlejuice. Yes, Beetlejuice was a great one.
Yes, that's a good call, guys. Like I always forget about Beetlejuice, and I just like after because I'm a big Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory fan, and
Yes.
after Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, I was just like, I hate you. I know he has great movies, but I was just really mad at Tim Burton. You know what? That's
Aww.
not. I was just really angry, and I'm gonna be moving kind of quickly.
So, you're working on Mark stuff over there, right?
Yes, I
Cool.
am. I have decided to go with this blood drop vitamin.
Oh,
Do you guys say
sweet.
vitamin or vitamin?
Oh, I've never heard Vitamin. I like Vitamin though.
It was I have a friend. She's down in Vietnam now, but in our China days, she would get mad at me because she's from the UK, and she's
Oh,
like,
yep.
"Why do you call it vitamin? It's vitamin."
Like aluminium.
Yes, that
Yep.
too.
So the great thing about working with custom type a lot of times is if you're working with paths like this, you can reuse some letters for other letters. So B is basically D without the cross. So you can just copy and paste letters and work them kind of to your will.
Yeah, we're gonna. I'm gonna fix that later. Yeah, I know I have an artboard here, but I normally do everything on the side and then kind of just go in later.
I love that you're doing that because I literally like zooming out on my screen. And chat, you can see this too. I literally just have an artboard floating below where I'm actually working because I'm like, I don't care. Like if it's all white, I'm just gonna work on the whole thing and figure out like where it goes. All right, so
Yeah.
the concept we're going with is almost a mark that is a vitamin, but also a blood drop, right?
Yes, but I'm not
Rad.
digging that because it looks too much like I don't know, it reminds me of an acorn, so I am going to fix that now. Maybe I can do
What
like
is happening?
this.
Oh, I had scale strokes and widths on. I need to turn that off. Okay. There we go. That's better.
Always throws me off. Yes, okay, we're gonna do like that. That is more of what I wanted.
Oh, so it's more of like an Advil kind of pill shape.
Yeah, because it kind of reminds me of an acorn here, but you know what? We'll keep it. maybe maybe it will work out later. I don't know. Well, this doesn't have to be perfect, so we're just gonna.
That's the name of the game here. Close enough. What's going on? Oh, that's a great question. So what's going on is we are working on a brand that you, chat, have assigned to us. I'll go over the brief real quick one more time. Dark Sky Vitamins is an in-your-face goth and natural brand that has been in business since 1000 AD. We are very inspired by some inspirations, and we're looking to capture a target demographic of vampires 1000 years old or older. Our tagline is bloody good, and we'd love to incorporate that into the brand. So Jenn is working on the mark and the logo and part of the branding, and I am working on some of the type treatment, which I'm not loving, and so I may just completely scrap and jump to something else. We've got about 20 minutes here, and so I love that we got 20 minutes, and it's going to come together like in the last minute, and we're like, oh my gosh, we did it. So I'm just going to start playing with type on the path because I feel like that's always the go-to.
Yes, go for it. Two. Yeah, okay. And now I'm just doing. Okay. So for me over here, I'm just kind of going through and I'm saying like basic shapes, this shape. I don't know. This also, no, bullets are bad. I was like, oh no, it looks like a bullet. That's kind of cool, but bullets are not good.
Oh, so. That's interesting. Somebody said that it looks like a bullet or a stake. It'd be cool to do like versions of like one is like a blood drop and then one is maybe like a steak, and like they're both just actually vitamins.
But isn't a steak bad?
That's true.
Because it's.
That is true because it would kill you. Yeah.
Yeah, and bullets too because they have the silver bullets, and I'm like, oh man.
Oh, that's true. Maybe that's like part of the play on the brand is that like it's like things that kill you, but then you get to live forever because you're having the vitamins.
Well, we'll keep it. We'll see what happens. Because it does kind of look like a bullet.
So there's bloody, and then let's do another type on the path for good. And I'm using a font over on my screen that is just called Sabbath. It is available in Adobe fonts if you'd like to download it. And I've used it for a bunch of stuff. It has like a really great kind of gothic lettering kind of vibe, and so I use it for a lot of stuff that I want to be like, I don't know, Victorian almost. What is this, black letter? I guess medieval.
Are you going more black letter
I am.
Okay, then I'll go more like let me look at my inspiration. I'll go more like simple. I think like very long lines and stuff because vampires are very like elongated anyways.
Oh, I like that. Yep. Oh, I like that a lot.
Every time I think of a vampire, I think of like the long face.
Yeah, they're like skinny and like super long face. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and that will look really nice against the black lettering.
So let's see here. We'll go center. There we go.
Oh, no.
And I got this new mouse, chat, and it's magic. So what I can do is like, right, I need to kern this out, and check this out. I have different key bindings on my mouse, and so if I need to increase the kerning, I can literally just click on my scroll wheel and it will increase all that for me. It's magic. Baskin Robbins has a good B+ favorite ice cream. Oh, is it like blood ice cream? What's happening? Chat? I left you alone for literally a second, and I come back and you're talking about like ice creams? What happened with ice creams? Y'all are going off today. I love it. All right, so...
And it's only Monday, too.
It's only Monday. So if you're just joining the show, we do the show both days. So we'll be back tomorrow again to kind of build this brand out a little bit further, depending on how far we get today. Ooh, that looks fun. What kind of mouse is it? It is MX Master 3. Magic.
This guy. Okay.
Magic. Yes, I love this. Oh, that's really funny. Somebody said the guys from My Chemical Romance would be great spokespeople because they could just be like, I'm not okay, and then like take the vitamin and be like, I'm okay. I love that so much.
My teen angst is like so happy. I'm gonna look that up too now. Just like My Chemical Romance.
Yes, it's funny because Like, I've never had a song like trigger me with one note, and the Black Parade does that. Like, it starts and I'm just like, oh, let's go.
Oh man, okay, yeah. And what did I listen to? I listened to like My Chemical Romance. Coheed and Cambria was my first concert that I ever crowd surfed
Oh
at.
yes.
Yeah, that tells you how old I am. I'm not that old, but old enough. Old enough.
All right, so over there you're working on variations, and can you explain your process a little bit as you're making these different marks, like why
Yeah.
there are so many?
Well, I'm just trying to, okay, so I was going to try to check the width and stuff. So here it's actually just to give different width variations and like see how it looks with like cap versus rounded. And I do want to play with color, which is why I have so many right now, but I don't know how much we're gonna see. Normally my process is like not this quick, guys. Like normally I'm like in this stage for a long time where I'm like, and then forever, but I'm kind of treating this like oh, we gotta go. Like,
Oh, we gotta
yeah,
go. That's
yeah.
it.
So I
In
might
chat,
just tighten this up.
we're gonna get a couple more suggestions for you that I'm going to incorporate into my badge over here. So my badge is looking a little bit different. I've started working with that typeface, added in some fun little accents, and I'm kind of just doing some extra little accents. So here's what I want to get from you, chat. We are going to have you define a few more things for us, and I'm gonna hop back to the brief once I delete these points. There we go. So let's hop back to the brief and let's have you define something for me, and that is they're very inspired by plural nouns and the style of a company. So what are plural nouns that we could incorporate into this badge, and then what maybe company could inspire what we're doing with this tagline type treatment? Let me know. Coffin-shaped chewables. Yes, I love that. So what are both a proper noun, or a plural noun, and a company to be inspired by? I love that you work and just copy everything. So that's another like pro tip is anytime you're working, just make copies of everything, right? Like I think Draplin says this, that like artboards are free. Like literally just throw as many as you can.
Yeah, Draplin is also like the very like as you go on to have an arrow. He's a very like he uses a lot of I guess patterns is what they are, right?
Yes.
And we don't have time. Like that's okay. I just needed that. That's what I needed, and I couldn't figure that out for a hot second, and that was making me upset.
Oh, I like some of the things. Chocolate Cartel. We have Sons of Anarchy inspired. I actually really like the Sons of Anarchy kind of inspired for the company, because that it feels like almost like bikery, which is kind of where we're going. So I love that. So let's put that in there. Dominoes. Dominoes is interesting. Ooh, actually, yeah. Let's do Dominoes. Okay, so it's inspired by Dominoes. The
Pizza?
Not the pizza. The like actual like tiles, because I think that I could play around with some of the dots in like a cool way. So Dominoes, and what was the company that we said right there? Oh, Sons of Anarchy. We'll just call that Anarchy. How do you spell that? There we go.
Yeah, TCMYK.
Cool. And then I need two more things from you, chat. We need two colors, and I think I know what they're going to be. Give me two color scheme that we can incorporate into both of our designs to pull them together. So any two colors, and let me know. Yeah, I know. Color's always the hardest for me, and so I love just throwing it on chat every time. And I'm like, you guys just pick it up. You guys figure it out, because I don't want to.
Yeah, no, that's perfect, because I still need to figure out this typography. You guys got me working under pressure. My brain's like, what do I work on next?
Yep.
And so prioritization is key. So I will just work on typography for right now.
Exactly. So we are going to come back to this and do more work tomorrow. But it is super interesting and fun and challenging to be like, oh shoot, I have to literally prioritize and like spend my time as if it's money.
Yeah.
All right, so great suggestions coming in. We have I like pizza. Okay, we got pizza. Deep reds and purples. Ariana, I think that I'm going to go with that. So reds and purples.
Yeah,
A couple
okay.
people suggested that. I really like those two colors. So we're going to keep playing around with that. And again, in the 2-up, I'm working on this type kind of badge here. And I'll start playing around with those colors and see what we can get.
I wonder if there is, I don't know if you guys know Oh No Typography or Type Foundry, but he has this font, which is one of my favorites, which is called Obviously. And that's...
Oh, why have I heard of this?
Oh No?
Have I seen this? Oh, yes. Oh No is in Adobe Fonts now, I think. Let me double check that.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
This is my...
That's what I'm using.
Sweet.
He's, if you guys, I bought some of his fonts. I would totally recommend it. He has the Wolfpack font, so if you're into Wolfpack, he has their font that he made for that band.
Yep. So right here, you can search on Adobe Fonts over on my screen. It's just fonts.adobe.com. And Oh No Typeco is the extension. Some really, really great, let's just put some random sample text in there. There we go. Really great typefaces, super interesting, lots of kind of Tuscan lettering is what that's called. And what's the one that we're using today?
I'm using Obviously. I think it's condensed bold, but I might get, there we go. That's probably what I want more.
Yes, great.
And now that I'm looking at it, I kind of want to see,
Ooh.
I kind of want to do a different, we said reds and purples, right?
Yes.
So this makes me think that I might do like a reversal here to white.
And I'm going to start playing around with being inspired by dominoes.
Not the pizza.
Not the pizza.
I'm kind of disappointed, but that's okay.
Let's see here. I'm going to do some kind of... I want to play around with the idea of there being like a negative space fang almost. But like with dots.
Yeah, I am. Okay. No line. That's looking a lot better. Simple. I normally go like super crazy and then I simplify and then I'm like, I didn't need that. Well, okay. Do you have color codes? Are we doing that?
Yeah, I'll hit you with some hexes. All right, so I'm using 3A 07 3A. That's my purple.
Okay.
And then my red that I'm using is 9E 1212.
Oh, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah.
Sweet. And we got about 10 minutes
you.
left, so we are cranking away.
Okay, heard.
All right, so I'm going to play around with these being bite marks and playing around with like dominoes, but it's like bite marks.
1000 AD, right? Is what we
Yes.
said.
1000. Chat, I love when you guys go off and just get totally insane.
I really want to do, I have some go-to fonts like every other designer in the world. And so I actually use a lot of like I really like Georgia because they have some.
Georgia. Oh, that's the thing.
Yes. But their number system is like, it's kind of got my favorite numbers. Like if you do like 1, 2, 3, it goes all sorts of crazy and up and down, and I love it. So, but we're only in 1000. That's fine.
And yes, I do, Joe. That's a great idea. I think I'm going to play with puncture marks. I'm going to do one version of it right here real quick, and then chat. You can let me know if it makes sense and if you like it or not. And then we can kind of adjust from there. All right. Where is the button that I want? All right, chat. How do we feel about this? I don't like it, so I'm not gonna ask for your feedback yet. It's I like show it and then look at it. I'm like, no, but I hate it. Okay, I hate it. So we're gonna try to do more bite marks and see what we can get from that. American brewery. Yes, a lot of these like feel like I feel like, and this is a weird thing, I feel like goth is kind of brewery-y for some reason. Like in my brain, I'm like, yeah, I feel like a lot of breweries would do this kind of like gothy style.
Mine's feeling very modern. So
It does. It feels very like it feels like medicinal.
yeah, because it's vitamins, right? And I kind of want to make it more. I mean, if we had, I don't know, maybe it's the type, and it's like this type of typeface isn't working, and so I need something like.
I think it's
More
going. I like the
script.
idea of it being the pill. Maybe something that maybe just going like full modern. Like maybe going
Yeah,
to like just a classic like Future or something. That it's like
let's find out.
super like healthy,
We could do like,
modern and clean.
maybe. And this is normally where I go back and I'm like, okay, what did my sketches say?
Oh yeah, it's always
And I
great
did.
going back and being like, okay, where do we start and what was interesting and like how do we expound on that? Josh Ryan, you can be the copywriter for this. All right, yeah, you can be assigned copywriter. Edgar Allan Poe for Dark Side Vitamins. Get them delivered right to your chamber door. Nice. I love that. And you can quote the Raven on that. I love that.
See, is that all together?
I used to know, I used to have that poem memorized. I used to also know the Telltale Heart from memory. I was like a college speech nerd. And so I memorized those for like monologues at one point. Oh, yes. Yes. I like where you're going with that.
Yeah, that was in my original sketch, and maybe bring these down, even though they're not like aligned because the weight's at the bottom.
Yep.
You
I
know, you
also
want to.
think tomorrow when we start to build this out, so make sure you come back tomorrow, same time, same place. We'll be building it out a little bit more. I think that mark can tessellate really well as being a blood drop, but then also flipping and being a fang. And so we can create some patterns,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
To where like it has both of those.
Yeah, you're seeing, yeah. So that'll be perfect. What am I doing? I'm trying to make like a very nice.
And
seeing how that looks on. Yeah.
Chat, if you have any suggestions, we're entering the home stretch. We got about 3 minutes left. So if you have suggestions, let us know, and we will try to incorporate those as quickly as we can. If not tomorrow, we are coming back to do another episode of this show. So definitely come back and tune in for that. We're going to keep going here today, though. And I'm continuing on this little badge, and I'm going to get your feedback, chat, in just a second. Ooh, what if this symbol... Oh, the symbol would actually go really well inside my type.
Oh, perfect.
Maybe we play around with that. Okay, yeah, we're going to try to incorporate these together a little bit more, chat. And chat, here are screens. Let us know any thoughts or feedback that you have. Andrew, please get out of my brain. Yes, absolutely. Super fun. A fang and a drop. Digging it. Cool. So we're into doing some patterns. Oh, nice. People are saying that it kind of looks like dose, which I kind of like. That it's like a dosage of something.
A dosage, yeah.
That's fun. Yeah, and I think that these combinations could be really interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. I wonder if I can do a version of this that patterns or like goes upside down or something so that like it can flip both ways. Let's see if we can incorporate this. Let's give it a try. And we got about 5 minutes here, and then we are going to continue on tomorrow. So fear not, friends. All right, let's give this a quick flip. Where do I actually want this to be? That is interesting, but also looks terrible. I did a thing and it's very bad. That's what I've realized. Hey Jack, welcome to the stream. What is up? We are in the middle of designing in the dark, and it's been... Yeah, I mean, like,
it's been dark.
It's been very dark. That's true. We are creating a vitamin brand for vampires that have been alive since 1,000 years ago. So it's been a little bit crazy today, but we've been having a good time. Over on my screen, I've been working on some type lockups, some nice little kind of brand elements here. And I'm gonna do one version that is like the full-on classic thick line reversed out, and just see how that looks. Keep the segment going. Am I thinking immortal fonts? Yes. What about keeping the X inside bloody good and putting the D on the left side of the X to the right and then draw it? Yes, we could probably incorporate that. Oh, it looks so good in a donut. That's like a weird thing to say, but it looks really good in like a in an actual circle. Let's see here.
I almost want to add some
outlines mode.
See how.
I love when we both are like working on something and it gets like quiet for a second because there's music playing in the background that's just like super vibey, and I'm like all intense and I'm like, all right, where are we going? What are we doing? And then suddenly it's a vibe and I'm like, oh yeah. All right.
What am I doing?
Yes.
I want to add more to this, and I'm almost like, but I mean, it's simple.
Maybe try to put one next to each other and flip it and see if you can get like a cool thing that maybe like the mark is actually both of them.
It may work.
Right. Let's go ahead and deselect that. And
no, it just feels like way stronger with the.
Oh yeah.
With just one, because.
You're right.
Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, we're getting places, y'all. I think it's the typography that's not working for me right now. And so I'm going to Hail Mary it.
Hail Mary. Full send.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, with like 2 minutes to go. This is the full send, y'all. All right. I'm going to pop in a red there and then put these back and make them white. Actually, let's go ahead and lock that. Make all this white. Yeah. All right, that is a vibe right there. Oh, it could look like an hourglass. That's interesting. If it was up and down so that you like live forever.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, I think that because it is kind of a bite, but it also is kind of an hourglass. I think that we can play with that concept some more tomorrow, because I think that's super interesting. So.
Oh yeah, that is what I wanted. It is what I wanted. I didn't know if it was what I wanted.
That's it. That's why we're here, chat. That's why we love you. All right, we have to wrap up. We have about 30 seconds left. So thanks for joining us today on Design in the Dark. Again, our brief is that we are creating a vitamin brand for vampires that are over 1,000 years old. So we'll continue on our brand exploration yesterday. Today, Jen made some marks. I worked on some type up here. And so we'll be continuing on tomorrow. And chat, always come back. Give us your suggestions. And it was a fun time. Jen, how'd you feel about it? First day.
I feel good. I did a Hail Mary. I got the type I wanted. We're good.
Yes, and yes, I love that. The client is literal vampires. Yes, that's true. So thanks for joining us, everyone. We will be back again at same time, same place, 2:30 tomorrow right here on Adobe Live. Bye.
Bye.